Okay, so welcome to the Chocolate Talk. You guys are probably wondering why it's called the Chocolate Talk, and there is purpose behind it. So I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be able to be on here and listen. When you want to make progress with something and you try things and they're not working, it can be so frustrating. And trust me, I've been there, whether it's in business, whether it was with fitness, whether it was with a relationship. And so my goal is to help you learn enough tips or, little things that you can tweak that you will then take action and hopefully move to, a better place and where you really want to be and hit the goals that you want. So I'm going to start with a little story. And just a couple of weeks ago, I took my son, he's 8 years old. We were out running errands, and I said, "Hey, you want to go to Wendy's and grab that creamsicle frosty that you've been telling me about?" And he was like, "Mom, actually, like you're actually going to do that?" Because I don't normally do stuff like that. I don't normally take them out for sweets or surprise them with, something like that. And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And we were right there. So we went into Wendy's, and the big creamsicle, image Frosty was on the windows. We were all excited as we walked in, and we get up to the counter and we order them. And the guy's like, "Well, we're out of that flavor." I'm like, "What do you mean you're out of that flavor? It's on the window. You've been advertising it during the NBA playoffs. Like, what is going on here?" And so what we had to do was we had to opt for the chocolate frosty. So we went, we left there with a chocolate frosty instead. And why do I tell you this story? Why do I even start with this? Well, for two reasons. Number one, sometimes we settle for something that doesn't really give us the satisfaction or results that we really want, right? Haven't you settled for something before? Like, for example, doing what we always did in our 20s and 30s to stay fit or healthy, that's not working anymore. There's no satisfaction coming. And sometimes we even lose our confidence in the process. And the second reason I share that story is because I want to talk to you about how chocolate just might change your life. Not really, but I'm going to use the acrostic chocolate to share 9 tips with you that have helped me get in the best shape of my life after age 40. And I really, like I said, I really hope that they will move you into action and help you get down a new path where you feel super confident with where you are and you know what to do next. And just know that you can reach out to me anytime. This is not just you're on here once and you get to hear this and then you're gone. You can ask me questions. You can reach out anytime. And I want to be able to be here to help you and navigate what you're going through and what you're trying to, improve in your life. So we're going to get going. I do want to share that, for me personally, when I was in my maybe late 20s, early 30s, I had a goal of getting in the best shape of my life. But here's what I did. I said, well, when I can afford a personal trainer, then I'll get in the best shape of my life. When we move next, I'm going to do it there and I'll get in the best shape of my life. And I don't know why, but I came up with all of these excuses as to why I couldn't do it then. Or I'm too busy. When I have more time, I'll do it. And I was tired of myself. I was tired of listening to my excuses. And then fast forward, I had my kids late in life, age 35 and 38. After having my kids, I was feeling frumpy and I was frustrated. I would work out for 2 weeks and then take 2 months off. I would work out for 3 days and then take, a week and a half off. I just could not find consistency. And I was really frustrated with myself. And it was 6 years ago, actually, this month on Mother's Day, the night before Mother's Day, I made a decision. I said, I'm going to wake up before everybody gets up and I'm going to go on a walk around the neighborhood. And that's what I did. I just woke up early. It was the beautiful day. I walked around the neighborhood. It takes about 15 minutes and I got home. And it was that day that changed the trajectory of my health and my fitness. I made a decision that I was going to start getting up early every day and doing something. And I'm not telling you that I did something major. I just got up and moved my body. And a lot of times in the beginning, it was for 15 minutes, sometimes even 7 to 10 minutes. It was either a walk around the neighborhood or then I started walking more briskly. And then I started doing like 7-minute HIIT workouts. I mean, it was small, but what I did was I did it every single day. And I remember asking Siri on my phone or Alexa or whatever it is, how many days has it been since Mother's Day? And I remember one time she said, it's been 78 days. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have actually moved my body for 78 days straight without, even thinking about it, because I made a decision and then I managed that decision every single day by taking action on it. And that's really the key right there, is taking action on it. So I know that if I can make changes like that, you absolutely can too. You absolutely can. Okay. So we're going to get into the acrostic and we're going to start with the letter C. And so if you want to take notes, this is your chance to start, taking notes. The first letter C is consistency. And I really started talking about that already. I wish that consistency wasn't part of it, but it is the most important factor when it comes to your health and fitness. And I also believe it is the hardest thing for people to maintain. For some reason, the discipline is lost, the dedication is lost, the consistency is lost. And oftentimes I think it's because people start too big. They start with a big, grandiose thing, and then they can't keep up with it. And so when you take small daily action, or you have a plan that you can follow, either one of those, and you know exactly what to do, it's easier to just do it. And when you repeatedly do something, results add up over time. That's called the compound effect. And so consistency, even though you've heard it a million times, consistency is key. So that's C. Moving on to our first, to eight, the H. H equals healthy eating. I'm going to stay on this one for a little while because this is vital to your health and fitness journey. What you eat matters. How much you eat matters. If you eat like crap, you feel like crap, right? If you eat well, you feel energized and nourished. If you eat too little, this may be something you don't know, you can actually mess up your metabolism and your hormones because your body is basically living in starvation mode. You can also mess things up by eating too much and have issues like diabetes or prediabetes, PCOS, insulin resistance. There's lots of things that can happen, obesity, as a result of overeating. So what you eat matters, how much you eat matters. It's really learning how to enjoy food that is real food. We are so used to packaged, pre-done meals, processed food, food that's made for us. It's a matter of enjoying real food, cooking from home, enjoying the process. I don't even like cooking, but when I find recipes that look good and they don't take that long to make, I feel empowered to make it because I know it's going to fuel my body better. And so I encourage you to start eating whole foods. What I consider whole foods are fruits, vegetables, grains, oats, beans, lean meats, fish, all of those different things. So if it comes from the ground or has a mother, it's considered a whole food item. And with that, my personal rule is to do an 80-20. Eat whole foods 80% of the time, 20% you're probably not going to. We're going to have some kind of packaged thing, a mix or a sauce that makes life easier, like spaghetti sauce or, some kind of teriyaki. If you don't want to make all that stuff, use that as the 20%. That's what I do because that makes life easier, right? But with eating, as a woman 40 and older, especially, prioritizing protein is the key. Eating 25 to 35 grams of protein with every single meal, and any meal that you snack, like any snack that you have, making it a high protein snack. And I will give you like a little quick tip right here. This is something that I learned recently that I absolutely love. So let's say you're going to grab an item from the store or you want to grab a quick snack. Here is a rule or tip for you. So let's look at a nutrition label. So I grabbed my jar of peanut butter from Costco, and this is the organic creamy peanut butter. The only ingredient is peanuts, or actually peanuts and salt. But on here, it's 180 calories. And if I go down to the protein, there's 8 grams of protein. So in order to know if it's a good high protein snack, you just need to add a 0 behind the protein. So that would be 8 plus the 0, so 80. So we're going to look at 180 versus 80. You want those to match 1 for 1 for it to be a good high protein snack. This is not. This has 80 grams of protein, but 180, or sorry, 8. But in our thing, we're doing 80 versus 180. There's a lot less that it takes a lot more calories to spend the protein that's in here. So this is actually considered a fat. Nuts and nut butters are considered a fat, not a protein. So this one has 15 grams of fat, so twice as much fat that it does protein. So this would not be a good protein snack. I'm going to do a few examples. A Think bar. Okay, this is a protein bar that I personally eat. This one has 230 calories, and it has 20 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar. Now, they're not 1 for 1. It's 200 versus 230, because if you take the 20 grams of protein, add the 0, that's 200. But I still think that that's a good option for a protein bar, especially with no sugar. Another option, this is my favorite yogurt. If you've never seen this before, the Fage brand tastes so, so good. And this one has 90 calories in 3/4 of a cup with 18 grams of protein. So that's 180 for 90 calories. That's a really good high protein snack. If you're doing the quick one like this, like a Chobani, even the ones the Greek yogurt that has a flavor, 110 calories with protein of 11 grams. So you're almost 1 for 1. You're just over. There's 110 for protein and 110 calories. So you're doing really well with even a flavored one, even though it has 14 grams of sugar. So you're going to add more sugar there. So do you understand that little tip? So I think that's a really good extra tip if you're wanting to find a high protein item or snack. Okay. All right, let's move on to our first O. Our first O is out with the old, in with the new. So first, we're going to talk about mindset. Out with the old mindset, in with the new mindset. So we're going to get rid of stinking thinking, of not believing in ourselves, saying we can't do it, saying we've tried everything, nothing works. I want you to embrace a can-do attitude. Start saying things and doing things that will actually move you closer to your goal, okay? It is so important to shift your mindset around that. But also, mindset shifts are really important when it comes to just food. Believing that eating less and doing more cardio is going to work it's no longer that mindset is no longer serving you. So you have to shift your mindset to believing that eating the right types of food and eating more than I normally do and strength training is really what's going to get me to my goal. So it's shifting the way that you think about food and fitness as well. So embracing that new way of thinking. Let's talk also about your pantry or kitchen. Out with the old, in with the new. I encourage you to greatly reduce the amount of processed and packaged foods that you have in your pantry and in your kitchen. They are not serving you well anymore. They do not do good things for your body. And you want to fill your fridge with those whole foods, with the fruits, veggies, grains, beans, all of those things that we talked about before. And the last one that's out with the old, in with the new is your bad habits. And, we all have bad habits. I have bad habits when it comes to food and fitness, as well as lots of other things in my life. But one bad habit we have is not managing our stress well, or our perceived stress. Did you know that women have a very high amount of perceived stress? So we create our own stress even when there's not stress present. And we need to learn to manage that better. So we're going to get rid of that bad habit because that affects our health. And we're going to have a new habit of managing our stress better. Okay. What about the bad habit of watching TV or just being lazy and just choosing not to move your body? Well, we're going to get rid of that bad habit and we're going to say, you know what, moving my body is important for my life now, but also in my future so I can live longer. So maybe you have a bad habit of snacking all day, just nibbling all day, or being a late night snacker. We're going to get rid of that bad habit and we're going to replace that with eating really good balanced meals so that we're not hungry at the end of the day, so that we don't need to snack every couple of hours. So those things make a difference. So out with the old, in with the new. Okay, moving on to the next C. The second C is carb cycling. Maybe you've heard about carb cycling, maybe you haven't, but carb cycling, in my opinion, is like magic. It's like the key to success. Carb cycling is something that you can do if you want to lose fat faster. It's eating low carb diet with high healthy fats and moderate protein twice a week. So low carb. In my program, we do 50 net grams of protein, or sorry, of carbs. And then we eat a lot of high healthy fats that day. And then we have moderate protein. And we do that 2 days in a row. Why? Well, our body uses carbohydrates as energy for fuel to keep us going throughout the day. When we deplete those stores, they're called glycogen stores. When we deplete those glycogen stores, then our body says, well, where am I going to find fuel for energy? There's none of that left. And it says, oh, I'm gonna use your body fat. I'm gonna actually start burning body fat for fuel so that I can give you energy for the rest of the day. And isn't that amazing? I had no idea our body could do that. And so when you lower your carb intake a couple days in a row, you're burning fat faster. And if you want a bonus to fat burning, if you pair those 2 days of low carb meals with HIIT workouts or Tabata workouts, you're doubling the effect because those two types of workouts also deplete glycogen and the carb stores and help you burn fat faster and also help you burn fat up to 16 hours after the workout. So those two things are huge. After your low carb days, you're gonna the next 5 days of the week, the other 5 days, you're doing higher carbs, healthy carbs, with low healthy fats and moderate protein. So high healthy carbs, low fats, and a moderate protein level. And that way we have energy, and that's when we do our strength training. And as a woman, we absolutely need those carbohydrates to have energy and be able to have our brain function. Okay? All right. We're moving on to the second O. Second O is own your journey. Own your journey. So this one is about digging deep and discovering your why. Why do you really want to go on this health and fitness journey? Why do you really want to lose weight? What is it that's deep inside of you that makes you really want to do this? You know, for me, I know that God gave me a body and a mind to be able to do things. And I want to be able to live as long as possible and be a light for him as long as possible. In order for me to do that, I have to be strong in body and mind. I want to be able to play with my kids. And, you know, my daughter just started track and she's in 6th grade. I want to be able to, if she wants to go out to the track and practice. And she's like, Mom, race me in a 100 meter. I want to be able to do that with her. And, you know, I'm in my late 40s now, and there's a lot of women who can't do that. And I just feel so thankful that God put it on my heart to get into shape, to get my body back, to make sure that I helped other women with this because it is important for longevity. I see frail older people all the time and it breaks my heart because I know had they done some strength training in their life, they wouldn't be as frail. If they knew how to eat protein and build their body correctly, they wouldn't be as frail. And I want to help women now so that we can have a stronger generation later where we can live longer and have a more fruitful time as we age as well. Okay, so just really discover your why. Take some time to think about maybe there is history of disease, or just not understanding nutrition or fitness in your family. Maybe there's something that you want to break a cycle on, and that's really important to you. Maybe you've just never chosen to take your health as a priority and you're just ready for that step in your life. Whatever it is, you can use your why when things are not perfect, because trust me, when you are trying to eat healthy every day and you want to work out every day, you're going to have days when you just don't want to. I don't want to eat healthy today. I don't want this meal, I don't feel like working hard in my workout. But you know what? When you show up, regardless of how you feel, because you know your why and you're dedicated enough to the process, you are going to make a difference in your life. And that practicing that discipline will carry over into other areas of your life as well. When you're disciplined in one area, you tend to be more disciplined in others. When I started my journey 6 years ago, it was all about moving my body. I ate okay, but I didn't really get into nutrition until about 2 or 2.5, 3 years into my journey. That's when I really started to look at the importance of what I was eating and what was fueling my body. So I started somewhere, and then I made progress because I continued with my consistency in one thing. Okay. So I do encourage you with this, that it's practice. You want to practice progress over perfection, because if you try to do everything perfectly, it is a formula for failure. So many people try something, and because they can't do it perfectly or they miss a day, they're like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. But that is not the way to think about it. I say never miss 2 days. Okay. If you miss a day, you miss a meal, it's okay. Just don't miss two. Don't miss two. Don't have two bad meals, or if you have two, don't have the third one. Don't miss 2 days of workouts. Okay. So we all are going to mess up. We're not going to be perfect, and just focus on that consistency, like I talked about before. All right. Moving on to L. L is lift weights. You've heard me talk about it already, but strength training is a must, especially if you're over 40, but even starting at age 30, because we actually start losing muscle mass at age 30. We lose 1 to 3% of our muscle mass per decade starting at age 30. So if we're constantly losing muscle mass, strength training, what it does is it helps us maintain the muscle mass and continue to gain muscle. And when you're gaining lean muscle, what that's doing is it's speeding up your metabolism. Why? Because muscle burns calories way faster than fat does. So the more muscular you are, the faster your metabolism is going to be, and the more calories you can actually consume throughout the day. So I eat more. I'm 110 pounds, 5'3", and I eat more than most other women who sometimes weigh twice what I weigh, because I have a really good metabolism and can do that, and look like I do. So that makes such a big difference. Plus, it helps with bone health. It helps with longevity. Like I was saying, when you have muscle as you get older, you're able to bend down, sit down, get up, play with your grandkids, and you're able to move around a lot better. So how much? How much do you need to do? I recommend strength training 3 or 4 days a week for just 30 minutes or up to 45, but no more than that, 30 to 45 minutes. So at the very least, 3 workouts of 30 minutes, at the very most, 4 minutes of 45-minute workouts. You can find stuff on YouTube. Of course, I have a program that I can tell you about as well. Here's a little side note though, fad diets that help you lose weight really fast, they are great for losing weight, but guess what happens? You lose muscle in the process. And when you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down. And then what happens is you stop doing whatever you were doing, and then you start gaining weight back faster because your metabolism is now shot. You've now slowed it down. So now you gain the weight back faster. And it's just a vicious cycle. I don't know if you've been through it, but it's a vicious cycle of lose the weight, gain it back, lose the weight, gain it back, because you're not doing anything to actually fix the problem. Okay. All right. We've got a few left. A is adjust your eating and sleeping schedules. Adjust your eating and sleeping schedules. Sleep is way more important than you think. Sleep is where hormones are balanced out. It's where your body takes a break from digesting food. Sleep is important for brain development and focus. So, my recommendation is to find a way to get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single night. And I'm going to give you a little method. You can Google it later if you don't catch it real quick, but it's called the 10-3-2-1 method for sleep, for better quality sleep. So you want to stop drinking caffeine 10 hours before bedtime. So no caffeine 10 hours before bedtime. Stop eating or drinking alcohol 3 hours before bedtime. Stop working, doing stuff that's like stimulating your brain 2 hours before bedtime. And get off all screens 1 hour before bedtime. That will help with your sleep patterns if you need to. Okay. The other part of this one is adjusting your eating schedule. And specifically, I'm talking about intermittent fasting and how beneficial that can be. So, starting with an eating schedule, that's what intermittent fasting is. You can start with a 12-12 protocol where you eat for a 12-hour eating window and then you fast for 12 hours. And during your fasting window, you're only consuming water, black coffee, or herbal tea. So if you get up in the morning at 7 and it's not time to break your fast, you cannot have coffee with creamer. That is the worst way to start your day. You want to start your day with a balanced meal, even if that includes your coffee with creamer. Okay. But you don't want to have that coffee with creamer and then not eat a balanced meal until later because it just spikes your blood sugar and then you have a crash later. So you can work up to a 16-8 protocol, which is 16 hours of fasting in an 8-hour eating window. But I recommend starting with 12-12. Okay, T, moving on, trust the process. This is so important to understand. That losing weight, losing fat, and changing your body composition. So going from maybe a thicker middle with, thicker thighs to a lean stomach to, shoulders that you can see that are toned. Those things take time. So completely changing the way that your body actually looks takes time. And I'm going to tell you, it can take months or even years. And that is where most people quit. They stop before the magic happens. And again, this is where consistency and discipline come in. And it's not looking at your health. My neighbor kid is here. The neighbor is here for my son, but he's not home. He keeps knocking on the door like, I hear you. What are you doing? But I don't want you to look at your health like another diet or program, because that doesn't serve you. Going in and looking at like, oh, I only have to do this for a little while. The next thing you do, I want you to look at it as a healthy lifestyle change. What habits can I change? What can I do for the long term? What can be sustainable for me to be able to do today, but also tomorrow and weeks to come? Okay. So trust the process, know that it's going to take time, etc. And we are on E. E is enjoy a treat once in a while. So we are back to chocolate, right? We started there, we're ending there. The journey to getting fit and healthy does not mean sacrificing all the sweet and salty foods you love, okay? No way. You can still eat treats and enjoy them guilt-free on occasion. Trust me, I do, okay? It's not about depriving or eliminating everything that you love. It's about finding balance. And I guarantee if you start focusing on whole food nutrition 80% of the time, that you're not going to even have as many sugar cravings or craving the things that you used to eat that were packaged and processed anymore. And I'm going to give you a fun fact here. Did you know that your taste buds turn over every 2 weeks? So that means you actually might start liking broccoli and not craving ice cream. But really, for real, your taste buds turn over, and like now when I eat the kids like Halloween candy, it doesn't even taste good to me. I would rather have something that has like a rich chocolate, something that's just different that doesn't have all that processed yucky sugar in it anymore. So my taste buds have changed over time, and I don't crave those things anymore. Even though I still crave some sweets, they're different. They're a higher quality sweet. Okay, so we're going to finish with this. My life's motto is to dream big, start small, and act now. So it is okay to set big, audacious goals like I did. Like, I want to be in the best shape of my life. But the key is to start small and take action daily. Okay. Find something that you can commit to daily. So what do you do with all this information? I know that you could probably figure it out on your own. I did. Okay. I found my own workouts. I found some meals that were healthy. I was able to find a way to be able to track some food. But you know what? Not everybody is willing to do that and can find what they need to get the results they want. I have found that I'm kind of an outsider on that. Like, most people need a program. They need something to tell them what to do. And so we have a program. I am a coach for the Faster Way to Fat Loss, and our program does all of those things for you. We have healthy meals, which are meal guides that are given weekly. We have daily workouts that you can do at whatever time of day you want. We customize your macros to put you in a calorie deficit, but you still get lots of food. In fact, most of my clients are like, Jami, how do I eat this much? And at first they can't. They're like, this is more food than I've eaten in a long time. But it's also good for them, and the meals are delicious. Plus, you get a community of people that are going through the program with you, and you get one-on-one coaching with me. The program is phenomenal, okay? And our program is normally $249, but right now, through Mother's Day, actually it's May 14th, they are offering $25 off, which is super awesome. It's the first time I've ever seen a discount on the program since I've been a coach for the last year. So it's $224 right now. And anyone who joins by tomorrow night also gets a free gift from me. I did this when I first started as a brand new coach. I gave a gift to my first 10 people. But anyone who joins by tomorrow night, so that is May 7th, gets a little gift from me as well. I recommend this. So our Faster Way new client program is 6 weeks. But again, I don't encourage you to just look at it as a 6-week program that you're going to do and then you're going to stop. This is about lifestyle habits, changing the way that you think about food and fitness, and then continuing on. So the second part of this is continuing on to a VIP community where you continue your journey. And that's really where you see results. That, several months later, a year later, where you're really going, wow, this is still working and I'm still getting results and seeing changes. So we don't have a lot of time left over, but I do want to open it up for questions. We have about 4 minutes left before Zoom kicks me off because I don't have an upgraded account. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask, and I would love to be able to answer them. Right? Ladies, have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.